This week's comment corner comes from Kiliwa Zoldick 9559. Um, I like how this show was able to make a written test entertaining. Boy, is that the truth. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Like the right kind of filmmaker, the right kind of storyteller can make anything interesting. Filling out your taxes could be interesting. You could do camera moves and swooping music, and you could do drama. You could visualize filling out the tax forms as a mighty battle and sword play, and every time you get a entry correct, you've defeated an enemy. There are ways through metaphor and visual storytelling and music and camera moves and animation and all kinds of stuff, arcane type of animation. There is a way to make anything exciting. What's the most boring thing you can think of? Literally paint drying. Watching paint dry could be exciting in the hands of the right storyteller. That is true. But still, there is the theory, which is what I'm talking about, and then there is the execution. And this show executed that. That was a written test. And I was on the edge of my seat. That was really good. I thought of another example, by the way. Have you ever read The Magicians? Now, there was a horrible sci-fi series made out of it. What a terrible adaptation. But, so that may make you familiar with it. But in the book, I don't remember how they did this in the adaptation. I think they kind of glossed over it, right? In the book, they had to take a written exam. And what was funny about it was you're sitting there and you got your piece of paper here, right? And shit was moving on the page as you were filling it out. Like, imagine you got your piece of paper and it's like a trigonometry exam, right? You're trying to answer the question and shit's moving around and the question changes. It's like, holy crap. Like, they made that pretty exciting too. That was pretty interesting. But still, like, you can gloss over things even in the written word in a way where it's like, he sat there for 2 hours on this one question. How do you show that visually and it not be boring? It's a little bit harder. In a book, you can just do a line of dialogue, boom, we're there. It's easier to show time passing in novels. So they did it. Point being, they did a really good job. Like, this show is just top notch in how they execute things. But I will say I'm having a little bit of trouble with the pacing so far because, like I said, they cliffhanged on, and this was like we had to wait a whole weekend for you to see my reaction to this next one, right? They cliffhanged on a battle I don't care about. I don't care about either one of these people. I barely cared about the battle before that. They made it interesting, but I didn't care who won or lost. So there's no stakes. So when there's no stakes, the battle has to be super interesting. But even then, like at some point, like can we just get on with it? Are they going to show every battle? I hope not. I keep waiting for them to just do a montage through some of the people we don't care about. But like, then again, maybe the way they make you care about characters is to give the character screen time. I actually care about Lee a little bit because we got screen time with him, a couple weeks ago. So, Bug Boy, we got screen time. Now I know next time we see him in a fight, I know who he is and I might care. Maybe that's what they're about to do here with these two new characters. So, it's hard to judge thing when you're in the middle. You have to get outside of the story arc or outside of the story before you can look at the whole thing. Okay, you know what? This is why they did this. This didn't work, and here's why. This never got paid off. This was a dropped plot line, etc. So we just have to kind of wait and see. I don't want to judge it yet, but I'm saying I'm starting to be concerned with the pacing. If this, for instance, we have two fights in this episode, along with maybe some dialogue with our characters, and we don't care about anybody in either one of the two fights, we need to move it. We need to pick up the pace here. So we'll see. I'm doing a lot of prejudging here. So at any rate, let's go ahead and get into it. You know where we are. You know where we're going. 3, 2, 1. I do like how they all talk shit to each other. Yeah, I like old boy's cat. It's not a hat, really. It's more like part of a robe. Oh, crap. Dude. Get off me. Personal space bubble. He's going full snake wrestling move. What's with this body? Dude, even dislocating your joints, you couldn't do that, man. Okay, so he softened his bones. That's what he did. Gotcha. That's crazy. You're nuts. No thanks. Wow. See, this is how you make a fight interesting, right? This is interesting. I don't care about either character, but the mechanisms, the techniques are really cool. Idiot. So you got to move for this? I think part of what you want to see is which one of these powers has mileage that you can get a lot out of, and which one of these are one note powers, one trick ponies. Maybe Body Boy here. What shall we call him? Gumby? Yeah, Gumby. Because Gumby could stretch his body like this. Maybe Gumby here is a one trick pony, and there's not much mileage you can get out of this. What the hell is this substitution? Yeah, Jesus, that's creepy. What the hell are these people, man? What are you? Is he actually in that case? His actual body. This is a puppet. His actual body's wrapped up in the. Okay. Ah, nice. Now that is clever. That's clever. Wow. See, now you ask the question: which one of these powers is more interesting? Puppet Master is way more interesting than Gumby. So Gumby is going to lose. And you see the pattern here, right? In both cases, the person who looks like he's going to win starting the fight ends up losing the fight, assuming he's going to lose. The fight's not quite over yet. So you got to watch out when you become in predictable patterns here, right? Because they love the whole bait and switch on this show. Yeah, I think Puff Master's going to win, right? Kankuro. Yeah, hey man, his power. Your powers are your powers, dude. You do 25 on one when you do your cloning. That's a cool ass power. So that raises a question. I'll see if I can remember to ask this question at the end of this. I like how they have to keep carrying them out in stretchers. See, that wasn't that bad. What are we? We're 4 minutes into the episode. Really, with the recap. Actually, this would have been a recap, but actually they didn't do a recap. Now that I think about it. So 4 minutes in is not a. They didn't waste our time. They really got through it fast. So I'm cool with that. I thought it was gonna be like half the episode was gonna be their fight. This is a good way to introduce new characters. The hell you want? I know we kind of reconciled, but still. Now you're gonna be talking shit again. Is that what you're doing? We're back to this crap. Yeah, it works if I do this, bitch. This is such a boss moment. Your little passive aggressiveness can't touch me anymore. Yeah. Yeah. I like her tenacity. Eat my ass. Yeah. What's up? That's what you get for talking shit. Look at her. Yeah. That's right. Bring it on, mother. What is with your cough, dude? Take a cough drop. Yeah, that is true. That is probably the truest thing he's ever said. Nothing but weirdos all over the place. Yep, your turn. That's why she had her. Yeah, really. That's the most predictable matchup ever. I was about to make a joke about that. Like these battles are not random. They appear to be random. But you talk about puppet master. Somebody is puppet mastering this. And I'm not talking about the writer. I think there's somebody in story is arranging who faces off against who. Because there's no way, man. There's what they say there was 20 people. What are the odds that any two people would be matched up against each other? Pretty high. The odds are pretty high. So no, man. Somebody's engineering this. Now, it could be that the randomizer is pitting men against men and women against women, right? That could be what's going on. And in that case, the pool is much smaller. It's not one out of 20 chance. There's one woman for every two guys. So there may be only 6 to 8 women in the entirety of the pool of people that are left, right? So you're one of the 6 or 8, so that means there's only 5 or 6 possible matchups. That being the case, if it is women, if we don't see any men against women throughout the preliminary round, if we don't see that at all, that's right, cut her ass. Then I will say it's possible this is random. Otherwise, somebody's engineering these matchups. And that idea is intriguing to me. Who's doing it and why, right? Yeah. Kick his ass. Right? Just pay attention to the fight. She seems to be saying this has nothing to do with man against woman. That this is truly random, which I don't. If it's truly random, then it's not random. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody engineered the matchup. If it is in a preliminary men against men, women against women, then there's a chance it's random because the pool is so small. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Now, who do I think is going to win? I mean, obviously Sakura. She's going to kick her ass. That's right. Don't be having flashbacks now. That's how you can end up face down on the floor. How dare you hit me? I thought we were friends. You gonna quit? What is happening here? Say, why do you have ink on your body? Did she do a substitution or something? Right. So they get special training, I guess. Man, I ain't gonna need to know no flower arranging when I'm a spy. Pfft. By the way, this answered all the reservations I had. We blew through the fight we don't care about. Now we have a fight we do care about. So, and which leads into character development because that's why we're having flashbacks, right? Klutz is another good word to use. So, in other words, whatever her name is, was always a judgmental asshole, is what we're saying. You were a know it all even back then. Look how young you are. You think you know everything. Although they've been taught a lot of skills at an early age, so that's why she's acting like a know it all. This is literally the flower class, right? So I can see her being a know it all in this situation. Yeah, just throw them in. There's a whole science to this, a flower arrangement thing. Really? No, you don't. And she's modest too. Hey, I had to think about it. What's your point? Uh, Female bullies are the worst. We've talked about this. I'm gonna kick your ass. What's your point? I say again. That's right. Okay. She's not a complete asshole. So not only did you get your ass kicked with flowers, she roasted your ass too. She body shamed you. Don't mess with me, bitch. Did I still see the flowers in her mouth? Even when she was screaming, she still had flowers in her mouth. She should take those out. I see why they became fast friends. Even though she's kind of a know it all, judgmental, know it all a hole. Knows everything is just code for know it all. Nobody likes a know it all. Although the ability to throw things accurately with pinpoint accuracy, I would also that'd be high on my list. That's not necessarily magic. People can do that here in this world. You think too much, kid. So what do you think? Should we wrap up this flashback so we can get back to the effing fight? What do you think? I think we should. We get the idea. There's something about knowing anime characters at a certain age and they age them down to make them super cute. It just gets me every time. It's really funny. They did that with Gon a couple times in Hunter x Hunter. Just super cute. That's right. I'm gonna kick your flowery ass. You can have him. Really, we're back to this? I thought we kind of had I really thought we had a little bit of reconciliation, man. now we're back to just the roasting. I don't know, man. So what are you, the play-by-play announcer? Just watch the damn fight. No, I think she's trying to piss her off to win. Right. Yeah, she's pissing her off for a purpose, right? I get it. Okay, I understand. Sounds like they're saying her name is Inota. Twerk nothing. You're a weird kid. Maybe some flowers don't want to bloom, man. You don't know. Let the flowers be the flowers. I feel like it's part of the culture of Japan to be poetic. I mean, it's inbred in their culture. Poetry is a really big deal over there. They have all the different forms of poetry, and they try to be poetic and flowery in their language. I think it's just more baked into their culture than it is here in America for sure. Probably any other culture. It's where a lot of where these characters are coming from. That's why they talk the way they do. It's a frame of mind. It's a mindset to do that. To look for the metaphor rather than just plainly saying what you're saying. Yeah, sure. Remember that time I face planted and you made me cry? What they're really doing here is they're adding context to this fight. And I really like that. This is why this fight matters. Where the other fights didn't matter. We didn't care. Even with the flashback, we didn't care. The previous fight, right? This fight's just loaded with character development. Thank you, Miss Stepping Stone, but now I'm going to step on you. This is where you get off the train. Yeah, she tied her hair back. That's when you know a woman's about to kick your ass. Oh, that's another way you know they're about to kick your ass when they let the hair loose. Also, when a woman takes out her earrings, she's going to stomp you out. She's serious, man. It's competition. I wasn't looking at you, man. That was where they were going with that. I figured, yeah. Everybody's got rivalry. The rivalries go all the way back, every generation, right? Maybe one more time. We were so young back then. Last week, take this and cram it up your ass. Don't piss me off. Yeah, now she's gonna give it back to you the hard way. It's about my ego, you see. I think they didn't touch each other physically last time that they were interacting in force, right? So this may be the first time they actually touch each other is in anger, right? In violence. They had the handshake, and if I'm right that they didn't touch each other, the next time they lay physical hands on each other or any kind of skin to skin contact, it's going to be kicking your ass. So I like the symbology of that. They're about to wrap this up, aren't they? Yeah. Place cliffhanger here. We had an episode of, well, most of an episode of setup. We're gonna have the fight next episode. That's right. How they do it in Epic Rap Battles? Begin. They're totally doing a cliffhanger. I ain't buying it. Place cliffhanger here. That's what I thought. That first contact, I wasn't even expecting we even get that much. I know how you do. Well, I had paused it halfway through to ask you a question, so let's go ahead and get to that. So I wanted to pause this real quick while this is on my mind so I don't forget to ask this question. So we've been introduced to a lot of different kinds of jujitsu techniques, right? A lot of things. Shadow clones, substitutions. I think substitution is really cool. It's got a lot of utility. We've seen a lot, like a whole lot. So, of all the things we've seen, what do you think is the one? If you could pick one, you could have one power right now to use in your daily life, or however you wanted to use it for profit, for protection, whatever, intrigue, whatever you wanted to use it for. What power would you want? Like, remember we got shape shifting, all this stuff. We did the puppet master. I think it's really cool. That's what brought this to mind. I was like, wow, that's a really cool power. If I could only get one, I would not pick puppet mastering. If I could get two, I think I would. Because it is really cool. There's a lot you can do with that. You can send this dude out on a mission, and people think it's you, and then they attack him, and then you're safe, right? There's a lot of things you can do with that. They do a handoff, you pay the ransom money, meet with the cops in case you get arrested. Like there's so many different things. Any scenario you can imagine, any kind of genre of story you happen to be living in with your own life, the puppet could come in handy. But he would only be my second choice. I think my first choice is a similar power, but maybe not even as useful. But it would be the ability to clone yourself. Because here's the thing, you're not just limited to one. You could have a bunch. Remember that fight in the second Matrix movie where you had a billion Keanu Reeves? Or just you could scatter somebody's chasing you, and then there's like all of a sudden there's 20 of you all running in different directions. They got to pick. They got a split second to decide which one of you it is. Plus they can attack, I think. I believe they're immaterial though. I don't think they can actually hurt you. But there's all of them, so you can't decide which one to defend against, right? Any of them can be the real one. I really like that power a lot. The shapeshifting is useful. The bug thing could be useful. I can't be a nest of bugs, so I can't do that. So many of these are very useful. Let me know in the comments what power you would pick of all these powers.